Hey everyone, Saru here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the very next volume of the PC Engine CD-ROM Capsule, Volume 5, here on Retro JIPANG. Alright everyone, welcome back to yet another Retro JIPANG special on the CD-ROM capsule. This one is Volume 5. Now, if you haven't seen any of my CD-ROM capsule videos, make sure to check out the first volume of this video as I explain the origins of this book and publishing and all that other good stuff. Now, one thing I want to say about this one before I actually go in and open it is they did something a little different with this one where there's no obi. Like, these have obis on them that you can take off, as well as the book cover, and they've all been done that way up until Volume 5. And for some reason with Volume 5 they decided that they were just going to print it on a normal book, no obi. This isn't an actual obi, which makes me kind of sad. They feel much more fancier the other way, but it was already 1994 in spring, so I mean, PC Engine was already starting to decline at that point. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the book now. Immediately we have the welcome page. This one's more arcade card centric, as the title would suggest. And as soon as you open this up, you're greeted with an advertisement for the PC Engine arcade card, the arcade card Duo and the arcade card Pro. You needed the Duo for the Duos like PC Engine Duo, Duo R, and Duo RX, and the arcade card Pro for the original IFU PC Engine briefcase unit. And it's advertising the arcade card games, World Heroes 2, Fatal Fury Special, Fatal Fury 2, and Art of Fighting. And these are telecards. So what telecards are phone cards that people could charge, and you would use them in the phone booths in Japan. They were really big back in the 90s, and people always liked to collect phone cards of their favorite characters, and in this case it was Fatal Fury and World Heroes telecards, or telephone cards. Here's an advertisement of Dynastic Hero. Very pretty, nice, colorful artwork. I still think the Beetle character is kind of dumb, but they're going for this whole bug motif, so I guess it's okay. And it's a West Tone game, so, you know, you can't go wrong with West Tone, in my opinion. So here is the table of contents, every book thus far, and the Kabuki-den book. Make sure you check out those videos if you have not. This one here is speaking about the arcade card. The arcade card was just starting to be a thing. By this point, they have already released a bunch of arcade card games, and here it is them trying to educate people on the arcade card to get them to buy. Once again with the two different cards, 16 megabyte RAM buffer for normal duos, and the 18 megabyte card for the old briefcase unit, the arcade card Pro. So what do we have here? So this is a Tengai Makio 3 spread, and you've got like all this like beautiful art of what was going to be of Tengai Makio. Now here's the interesting thing about this, is that this was originally slated to be an arcade card game. Now, Tengai Makio, if you don't know Tengai Makio, it's the Far East of Eden series, and the first two games and the Gaiden, Kabuki-den, came out on the PC Engine. For anyone who's a fan of Far East of Eden, Tengai Makio, this would be very interesting to read, because this is the planned and cancelled Tengai Makio 3 for the PC Engine arcade card. and I think that would have been something great, but they never got around to it, and the PC Engine was starting to decline really bad at this point, so I take it that they decided to cancel it. Now here are some concept sketches of the main character for what would have been Tengai Makyo 3 for the PC Engine, and they decided to move this project over to the PCFX. And so Tengai Makyo 3 was going to be called Namida, Tengai Makyo 3 Namida on the PCFX. And the PCFX version of Tengai Makyo 3 also got cancelled because that system was doing really poorly, and the director Oji Hiroi was busy with other things like planning for Sakura Wars at that time. So they didn't release Tengai Makyo 3 until the PS2 with the weird like Sarah Brightman like theme song. And in my opinion, like, I didn't really like it because it was, they originally planned this nice 2D one, and then they ended up with this completely different 3D one. But the more you know, right? Alright, this spread here is a World Heroes 2 spread, just talking about World Heroes 2 for the PC Engine. I really like this version of World Heroes 2 on the PC Engine. I think they did a really good job. And I'll say this, I said it once, I'll say it again, the PC Engine was excellent, excellent, excellent with these Neo Geo ports for home consoles, because what are the choices that you have? The Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo? Most people didn't have the kind of money to afford, you know, Neo Geos. I know I didn't. I was a poor kid, so this was the best alternative to arcade fun at home. And here are all the characters' movesets for everybody. Here's Jen. I like Jen. She's my favorite. And then we have Fatal Fury Special. As you can see, they're really trying to sell the whole arcade card thing in this book. And then Fatal Fury 2, for whatever reason. This came out first. It was the first arcade card game to come out, but you can find this game for like 10 bucks or less because Fatal Fury Special came out shortly after. Therefore, nobody wanted this and ended up selling their copies of 2 back to stores. Here is Art of Fighting. For the PC Engine arcade card as well. And then here is a whole page of more arcade card releases, with the first one on this page being Flash Hiders, which I talked about I think in the last book. Flash Hiders is listed here as an arcade card hybrid, but I think they ended up scrapping that when the game was released. I'll go ahead and confirm at some point later, but normally when you have an arcade card game, it'll say here arcade card compatible. Take this Popful Mail. It has the Super CD-ROM logo for the version 3.0 card, and it has the arcade card compatible symbol, which improves the game's loading and some cinematics if you have the arcade card loaded. This has no such logo and has no such mention of it being an arcade card hybrid on the CD-ROM whatsoever. Interesting thing is, if you try the arcade card with the demo of Popful Mail that's packed in this book, it pretty much shits the bed. I don't know why, but it does. Alright, let's get back to here. We have Emerald Dragon, also a hybrid game according to this. I don't know, I don't have it. And then the Atlas is another arcade card hybrid game. I don't know why, that game looks like ass. Let's see, we have also, what does it say? Brandish. Brandish is an arcade card hybrid. And then we have Mad Stalker. Mad Stalker is an arcade card exclusive. You need the arcade card to play it no matter what. And then we were just talking about Popful Mail being an arcade, whatchamacallit, hybrid game. Alright, let's get into the games. Now, finally, they decided to put Neo Nectaris in the mix here. This is a demo of Neo Nectaris. They always had demos of the standard Nectaris, and like 2 or 3 times, I think, in past books. Neo Nectaris gets its time in the sun. Some more about Neo Nectaris, how there's bigger maps. The music is really good too. This spread here is Record of Lotus War. I know jack diddly about this series, so I'm just gonna keep going. Dragon Knight 3, I mean, like, this is, it says it's it's a turn-based RPG, so if you like titty games and you want to see, like, you know, anime boobies, this is what you want to play. It's one of those games. I mean, look at this scene right here. She's like, yeah. Then we have Cosmic Fantasy 4. This is the first volume of Cosmic Fantasy 4. If it wasn't for Cosmic Fantasy 2 to come out in the US by Working Designs, I wouldn't have been so into this series and discovered the artist Kazuhiro Ochi, who is the illustrator for Cosmic Fantasy. I love it. This is Ghost Sweeper Mikami. Ghost Sweeper Mikami is like a hybrid, like, adventure, digital comic / like card battler game. And I loved the card battler. The card battles, they were so much fun in this game. And the only reason I learned how to play this game is because it gets packed in one of the later demos for this. But it's based on an anime, if you didn't know. And the anime is pretty fun. Tokimeki Memorial. I already talked a whole bunch about this in the last Hyper Catalog book, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Look at this picture. She's like, notice me, senpai! This is cute. Look, this one's got like Maria. Look, a little plushie of Maria from Dracula X. That one girl, Rachel, from Martial Champions. One of those things from Proteus. And Winbee, the girl from Twinbee. I think hers was Winbee. Was it Twinbee? Winbee, and who knows? Whatever. Anyway, Tokimeki Memorial, revolutionizing dating sims. Here's a page on Choaniki, which is Super Big Brother. This one is for I Choaniki, so love Super Big Brother. And the game is kind of like, the depictions are kind of, how do you say, kind of manly. I can't really think of how to describe it, but I mean, look at these like pictures. You got like these buff mins all over the place, and it's so bizarre. But the music in these games is like, oh my god, like super good. Then we have Sazanais. Sazanais is also based on an anime. This got a this game came with a VHS tape. Oh yeah, it's talking about it right here. That there was an OVA, and the game comes with this OVA tape. I have it. I should have grabbed it to show you guys in this video. You know what? Why don't I go ahead and do that really quick, and I'll just edit that out. Okay, so I had to go grab this game really quick here so that I could show you guys. So this is Sazanais. And the PC Engine version of this game is also an arcade card hybrid. I'll likely never do a video on this game proper, but I might do a video on arcade card function versus Super CD-ROM function. And so as you can see, this one came with a VHS tape of Sazanais. And this VHS tape has the OVA, which you can easily find on YouTube if you search for it. If you just search for Sazanais or 3x3 Eyes OVA, you'll find it. But I thought I'd show you guys this game here. Alright. And then next here we have, I don't know, some baseball game, who cares? Popful Mail. Now, Popful Mail, I really like the PC Engine version. A lot of people, but everyone knows Popful Mail from this, right? The Sega CD Popful Mail, because it's like infamously expensive now. And honestly, the visuals in this one, I don't like the cutscenes in this one very much. I think the art style is kind of ugly, but the actual game itself looks great. The sprites look excellent. This is a what would you call this? Not a remake, but like a reimagining, as to where the PC Engine version of Popful Mail is more more true to the original PC version of Popful Mail, which is this one right here. This is the PC version of the game, and cutscenes are completely different in the PC Engine one. They're animated super nice because of the power of the CD-ROM, but the gameplay looks very similar, and so the PC Engine version is just a slightly better version of that. But I personally like it the best. And they also made, Falcom actually took it upon their own hands to make the port for the Super Famicom of it. And this one, I actually don't really like it, but I like Popful Mail, so I went ahead and got them all. I don't like them as much as a certain Patreon of mine. A certain Mr. Element is a huge fan of Popful Mail. He has like everything Popful Mail. I just have the games. Anyhow, I've spent enough time on Popful Mail. You get the idea. Alright, this next page here, we have Dragon Half. Now, Dragon Half was also an anime, and this anime is so hilarious, it's so funny. But this game is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a digital comic with RPG elements, sort of. It's not really, it's more fun if you know Japanese, but there's a lot of humor in it, and it's very cute, and I liked the anime back in the 90s. Next here is Startling Odyssey 2. This is a decent turn-based RPG. Now we get to the CD-ROM New Wave section. This is where they talk about all the new games that are coming out. In this first section up here, we have Brandish. And Brandish is a arcade card hybrid game. It's right there. You got that logo. And then we have Tenshio Kurao, which came out. We know this in the States as Warriors of Fate. The PC Engine version got it. It's like a beat 'em up, but the sprites in the PC Engine version are super tiny. But the game's alright. The only thing that really upsets me about this game is that the music is in PSG. It's in chiptune and not in Redbook Audio, and I feel that they could have made it into Redbook Audio. This game here, Tanjo Debut. Tanjo is like the next in the Graduation series, I think. It's made by the same people. It's just one of those dating sim games. It had a really catchy theme song that I liked. Dynastic Hero, we already talked a bunch about that. Baseball, nobody cares. The Pro Yagyu Super 94. It looks lame. Quiz Avenue 3, these are like RPG / quiz games. And then right here we got Pachio Kun 3, which is like a pachinko ball guy who's like the mascot. And then Yawara 2, we already talked about it. Here's the coming soon list. Sometimes I like to go through here and see if there's any games that are listed that haven't come out. But it looks like this is all accurate. Well, no, except this. This is Tengai Makyo 2 as unreleased. That should have been Tengai Makyo 3, and it doesn't matter because it never came out anyway. Here is an advertisement for some more guidebooks. This one is a Super Metroid guidebook for about $10. And then one for J-League Excite Stage 94, which is a soccer game. I don't play any of those sport games, so... Unless it's Super Sidekicks on the Neo Geo. That's a good one. Let's see. This is, I don't know, an advertisement for some books? I don't know if they're art books or what, but I see like Mermaid Forest and really swole-ass Cutie Honey. Anyway, back to the CD-ROM. Like, these black and white sections are usually talking about other CD-ROM consoles. Once again, they're talking about the 3DO, which seems to be a reoccurring thing. The Sega Saturn talks about the PCFX, you know, and something called Project Reality by Nintendo plus SGI. I don't really know too much about it, but I think that's something that never materialized from Nintendo because they were too busy making the N64, which is complete crap, and you'll never see that on my channel. Let's see here. More Sega Saturn stuff. That's not true. There's a couple N64 games I like. Just most of the stuff I don't like. This is all nonsense. We're just going to skip that. Oh, actually, this is an interesting thing. This is a making of the duo comic Ushio to Tora. So Ushio and Tora was a manga, and I think it got an anime adaptation as well. This is a comic, a digital comic, and basically the way they do it is they act it out in the panel. So the voice actors do like whatever they're saying in the panel. So it's like kind of like an interactive comic type thing. It's really cool. I haven't seen this one, but I had the first duo comic was something called Bakuretsu Hunter or Sorcerer Hunters, and that was the first time I was introduced to that series. And I think anybody was introduced to that series. More Ushio and Tora. This is once again an order page to get any back issues of the CD-ROM capsules that you might have missed. And they would go here and they go to PAL Shop in Japan, and then they would fulfill these back orders. And then this is the survey that they do. And there's a survey card. Now we get to the manual for the demos that are packed in. And just to reiterate here, this comes with the Atlas, which, whatever, Frey CD, Zack Gaiden, Princess Minerva, and Nectaris /82. I don't know what that means. Oh, that's the page, sorry. Nectaris and the Hyper Catalog, of course, and the dual comic Ushio and Tora. So this one's got significant less games than most, but the big star of this one that they put all by themselves is Mad Stalker. Mad Stalker is an arcade card exclusive game, and I love it. It's a lot of fun. We're going to skip the Atlas here, because that looks boring. The interesting thing is you can use the PC Engine mouse with this game, but you could also use it for Tokimeki Memorial, which is much better game in my opinion, and it has force gear. Okay, so Frey CD Zack Gaiden, that's what this spread is about. Now Frey CD is part of the Zack series, which the PC Engine has two of, but this is an action RPG game, and it's very colorful, it's very pretty, great cinematics, and it's just all around a great game. And it's actually pretty playable even if you don't know Japanese. You can still fumble around and it's still pretty fun. Alright, so here's just more instructions on how to play Zack CD. Next we have Princess Minerva. Princess Minerva is a turn-based RPG. It's, I don't know if it's an original story, or if it's an anime or what. I've never heard of it. I do know there's a Super Famicom version of Princess Minerva, and the music in Princess Minerva is pretty good. It's not bad. But this is just more on Princess Minerva. Nectaris, yet again. Let's not talk about Nectaris anymore, because it appears in every single one of these books. And then this is the Hyper Catalog, which I go ahead and explain. And then the Ushio and Tora digital comic. And then here we have the Mad Stalker. This is the meat of this demo right here, is the Mad Stalker demo. And look at these mech designs, man. Like, they're so nice, so clean, so stylish. I love this game, by the way. Now, here is some talk about Mad Stalker, that it is an action game. It's actually kind of like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, if you will, like on a 2D plane. And there's actually a PlayStation version of Mad Stalker, but that one's more standard, free-roaming beat-em-up. And that one adds some faster gameplay and stuff, but it takes away the main storyline, and it takes away all the characters, so there's very little personality in the PlayStation version, in my opinion, because they don't talk about the pilots. Like, the main robot here is the Hound Dog. Hound Dog is piloted by Chico Rodriguez from Harlem, and Chico's the homie. And then Gong is piloted by Eva Redia, and Kamui is piloted by a Richard Winston, who's apparently Italian. And this game is just so cool, so good. The music is cool. You have moves like, it's a beat 'em up, but you have moves like uppercuts and fireball motions and down motions. See, like right here, like forward. Like these are your different combos. You have like different combos that you can do in the game. And down for your uppercut, like 1 or 2 button. If you do down, he'll do an uppercut. And this is a fill-in cafe game. Many fill-in cafe games use that same mechanic where down plus an attack does like an uppercut motion. Asuka Honda from the Asuka series also has an uppercut, which is a down and attack. And so do the characters in Panzer Bandit, which is also a game that was programmed by them. Alright, and then here is more advertisements for their guidebooks. Here's the final art. In the last book I talked about how they didn't have the art for this book. And here's the actual art for the book. Here's the Dracula X guidebook and a Monster Maker book. And then on this page we have an advertisement for Game On. Game On was in a magazine that was pretty much just everything, all games, all console games. And we've reached the end of this book. Once again, we have the CD-ROM here that you cut out to make your game. Your CD comes out of here, and this one is backwards, but that's what the CD looks like in here. And then once you cut it all out and you have it all set, this is what it actually looks like. And there's the CD-ROM in there. And so you cut this page to make this here. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this book now. So, as usual, we're going to go ahead and check out the demos. Okay folks, so for this hyper catalog, I'm going to go ahead and just get to the meat of the matter. I'm not going to show off everything like the hyper catalog or anything like that. You can go ahead and watch the first previous hyper catalog videos to see that. I am editing this overseas, so I'm going to try to cut this down to just the interesting bits. So this first one is a dual comic, which is a comic book that you can watch on your PC Engine Duo or whatever your PC Engine system is. And this one is the manga Ushio and Tora, based on the original manga by the same name, and there is also an anime. And I just thought it'd be interesting to show you a little bit of this comic. And you have some options here, like you can watch it in color, your different monotones, gray, blue, sepia, green, and what have you. So we're just gonna go ahead and watch a little bit of this. And I did skip the atlas. It's not very interesting and not English friendly at all. So I'm just gonna start off with the interesting stuff. So let's go ahead and watch a little bit. Alright, so next on the list, we're going to go ahead and just watch the intro to Nectaris. Nectaris does appear in a lot of the other PC Engine hyper catalogs, so if you want to see some footage of that, you can go ahead and watch some of the older ones here. So let's watch the intro. And that was the intro to Nectaris. Next, we're going to go ahead and watch the demo play reel, I guess, of this Princess Minerva. This is just going to be the intro, and it's going to show you some gameplay. It's all automatic from this point on. So let's watch.
最近はつまらない社交パーティーばっかりで、なんか退屈よね。え？あ、いや、そのようなことは。私、もうダメ。耐えられないわ。何かお考えですね。そうよ。親衛隊が欲しいわ。私による、私のための親衛隊を作るのよ。
こうしてミネルヴァ姫の気まぐれな思いつきでミネルヴァ親衛隊が結成されることとなったのだった。
Okay, now we're going to go ahead and play the demo for Mad Stalker. Now, this is actually a stripped down demo from the original game. This only contains the versus mode portion of this game for whatever reason. You don't actually get to play the side-scrolling action part of the game, but you still need the arcade card to play this stripped down demo, which I found weird, but what can you do? It's still interesting, and I'm going to go ahead and show you, so let's go ahead and watch. And now we're going to go ahead and play the demo for Frey CD, Zack Gaiden. This is actually the star of this whole demo. I know I said Mad Stalker was, but after playing it, I really think this one is. It's really good, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of like a run and gun based on the Zack games. So let's go ahead and watch me play badly.
53年サーク界に危機が訪れた。250年前に先神デュエルによって封印された妖魔バドゥーの復活の時が近づいていたのである。これを阻止せんと立ち上がった一人の若者がいた。その名はラトク・カート。そう、彼こそが先神デュエルの血を引く伝説の勇者なのである。勇者ラトクの活躍によりバドゥーの復活は阻まれ、世界は再び平和に包まれた。その冒険の中で彼と巡り合い、以来ずっとその姿を見守り続けている一人の少女がいた。この物語は初めて恋をした少女の心の成長を愛とロマンに満ちた冒険で綴る一大スペクタクルファンタジーである。
Alright, so there we have it for this volume of the PC Engine Hyper Catalog Volume 5, Capsule 5. You guys saw me do badly at both Mad Stalker and Frey Gaiden, but let me know if you guys want to see more of these. I have one more of these in the video vault, and if you guys liked it, we'll go ahead and do some more. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification button, otherwise you will not know when I upload a video. And if you want to check me out on the web, there are many other places you can check me out, like Twitter and Instagram. I just want to say a big thank you to all my patrons, all the members of the Saru crew. You guys are awesome. If you want to join the Saru crew, make sure to check out patreon.com/SaruMaru. You don't have to, but I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.